Hello everyone, this is Flosscat, and welcome to another reaction. Which I definitely going to need because, oh boy, like, I don't want to talk about my day, but right now my heart is pumping and blah blah blah, but holy crap, I still had a good day, but still, holy hell. Like, if you're wondering why there's a washing machine going on, and why I'm doing clothes, technically, there's a reason, but I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get anywhere to the negative. And let me see if I can just. I think this is gonna work. No, wrong one, wrong one. Whew. You guys are next to it. But today we're going to do a reaction to How to Beat Willy's Wonderland. Now, this was suggested by someone in my latest video because apparently he didn't know what video he can just say that on, but I don't care because at least he's watching my content. I forgot who he was, but he'll let himself know on the comments. But he recommended me to react to this. Now the funny thing is, to him and a bunch of other you guys, actually turns out I have somewhat seen this. Keyword ultimate somewhat, because yeah, I have not actually watched full of it. I was intrigued, but I was like, you know what? Nah. But now, since he wants me to react to it, and I'm willing to take anything right now, I'm willing to go ahead and do it. Now, the other thing about it is, this is made by the same guy who made How to Beat whatever that Japanese saying was with the whole blah blah blah. And I heard there was some okay things with this one. I don't know. I don't even know what this Willy Wonderland thing is. And again, I don't even know what I'm getting myself into. But at least it's better to hopefully take my day away. Anyways, if you guys want to watch the original video, link down below. Let's go. Let's do this, son of a bitch. Wait, I need to make sure there's... Okay, is this a PlayStation? I can skip this. And we're skipping.
You're locked inside a restaurant full of killer animatronics who won't stop hunting you down until they've murdered you in the most sadistic way possible. And when you're up against 8 unstoppable child-eating robots with no way to escape, what do you do? Now this one's got a whole other level under the surface, so I'm going to break down my theory on who this guy really is and why he's here, as well as the mistakes made, which you should do, and how to beat the killer animatronics in Willy's Wonderland. This ex-soldier is about to have the night of his life.
Okay, first of all, test this out. I don't know if it worked or not, but, I don't know. It's fine. To me, I guess. Maybe yes. Instead, let's just play right here. Okay, first of all, we got that done. Second of all, more importantly, why did this sound like fucking Five Nights at Freddy's? I mean, I even played recently, if you guys remember. Oh boy, hold on for a second. Dear, there, clear as day. But anyway, second of all, why does it sound like fucking Five Nights at Freddy's? Because I do play Five Nights at Freddy's. Well, I have sister location, but still. What the hell?
Driving along the countryside, but suddenly finds all his tires have burst. Getting out of the car, he sees a spike strip on the road, and right on cue, a tow truck pulls up behind him. The driver offers him a ride and he gets in, with no idea he's just become the next human sacrifice for this town's darkest secret.
Yeah, because this doesn't even need it. Why would you do this? This is keyword, do not hitchhike on someone's da-da-da. Not to mention, this looks extremely suspicious as fuck. This is even more suspicious as fuck than the frickin' that one thing from Siren Head. I forgot when I reacted to Blasphemous HD, where for some reason now there's canon of Siren Head putting nails on the thing. This is much more suspicious than that! So what the fuck?
Now, this seems like an unfortunate coincidence, but it's not. There's nobody around for miles except this tow truck, which is just way too convenient. Already, I'd be thinking this was some kind of highway robbery, and I'm getting back in the car to protect myself. Defending yourself from inside a car is a lot easier, because the window is a narrow space to attack someone through, and you can still drive off. But unless we want to abandon the car and walk a very long way, this tow truck is our only option. If he isn't trying to rob or kill me, I'd still let him take the car to town, so I have more options to get help. They arrive at the garage, which has a bulletin board covered in missing persons reports. Not a good sign. The mechanic here says he'll charge...
Oh my fucking ass, God. That is so fucking true. Okay. which begs me to question: did this guy see these warning signs? I mean, okay, you're literally on the road. You get a flat tire because it's not from natural causes. It's caused because for some fuck reason there's spikes, like a freaking police spike rail thingy majig. I don't know what they call it. Spike tracks, I think. Anyways, then a truck that looks kind of like something that would put the freaking thing drives up to you, and the guy tells you to come in, and you do it. And then when you come into the shop and get your car fixed, there's missing person signs. Where does this guy... I mean, I understand, again, and I do back this up because this is a point. You do need stupid people in order to do for horror movies, because after all, it would never work. But there is a scenario case where, just like that Geico, you know the one I'm talking about, that Geico commercial where you just have to ask, what the actual fuck? I mean, you do need stupid people. But this is like that Geico commercial. What the hell?
$1,000 to replace the tires, which is super reasonable if you're Nick Cage, who once spent $150,000 on a psychic octopus. So this is practically a steal. But
yeah.
The guy doesn't take credit cards, and the ATM is out of order. The man has no cash on him, so he offers to let the man work off the debt. He's taken to Willy's Wonderland to meet the owner, who offers to pay for the man's tires if he spends the whole night cleaning his place. The man takes a hard look at the building and accepts the deal. Okay, spending $1,000 to have one man clean the place is a waste. That kind of money could get you professional cleaners to do a much better job than some drifter. Also, this place has kid killers and Gateway to Hell written all over the walls. If it's me, I'm not stepping foot inside of this place, because
well, I mean, okay. This kind is a good deal, kind of middly, even though he doesn't know what he's getting himself into. I can see this as a good deal, actually. But still, I agree. Like, what? I mean, but then again, it's a good deal even without the whole horror, because, you know, just running it one night, I guess that's a good deal. I mean, that part I will admit, that sounds, excuse me, understandably, you know, understandable, because, hey, if I cannot pay off the debt, but I have to do this one easy thing, even though it probably might be not easy, but if I just gotta do one thing, then hell, yeah, I'll do it. If it's not that crazy, though. But this doesn't seem too crazy, so.
This makes any business sense, and it tells me this whole thing is an elaborate setup. Instead of playing their games, I would drive the car in flat tires to the nearest residence and call AAA. But there's something more here, because the way this guy looks at the mascot tells me he just might be here on purpose, and knows exactly what he's getting himself into. Inside, it's creepy as hell, with these animatronics that look like they came straight from Five Nights at Freddy's. There's Marty the Alligator, Siren Sarah, Cammy the Chameleon, Gus the Gorilla, Nighty Night, Ozzy the Ostrich, Tito the Turtle, and the main man himself, Willy the Weasel.
Okay. What the actual fuck is that? Like, out of all the animatrons, the rest of them, okay, look stereotypically normal, but that is the most creepiest fuck I ever see. Look at the fucking eyes. That is actually...
This guy's a real piece of work, believe me. Becoming the official janitor for the night, the man sets his clock and starts cleaning, but he's too busy to notice that the animatronics start to move. He takes a break in the kitchen where he notices a pinball machine. This guy definitely seems familiar with this thing, and he's touching it like it has sentimental value to him. But before he can play with it, his watch starts beeping, and break time is over. He continues cleaning the place up, but when he turns around, he sees Ozzy the Ostrich is standing right there.
Oh, hello.
He smacks the bird with the mop, but it suddenly starts attacking him and cuts his face.
Damn.
This animatronic has just made the biggest mistake of its life. The janitor breaks his mop in two and smashes its face in before ripping out its spine.
Fatality, damn.
That's one down and 7 more to go.
Okay, so this ain't even a horror movie then. This seems like something that this guy could kill every freaking animatronic with. If that was super intrigued.
This is no ordinary man. He's just taking this thing down like it was nobody's business. But if I were in this situation, I'd be totally screwed. This is him. This here is me. For an average human being pitted against a killer robot bird, it's not gonna end well for us. But we still have a few advantages to work with here. The weakness of this animatronic nightmare is that it's constructed out of machinery, so you won't be able to bash the living crap out of it, but you might outmaneuver it because it's limited by its mechanics, which shouldn't have very much range of motion. I would throw
Yeah, except for Five Nights at fucking Freddy's. I mean, why you think Sister Location? Well, it's kind of actually funny because it actually now backs up to how well done the killer animatronics in Sister Location was, because they were technically built to be killer robots. Unlike the other animatronics in the game, including the other ones, that's the reason why you don't see actual exoskeletons in those things. I mean, you do, but it's not like the stereotypical one he showed. Because, again, these were built as killer robots in the first place. That's why when you see also Molten Freddy, which is actually in there, spoilers for blah blah blah, but even though you kind of understand, or even this Fun Night Freddy to be exact, if you want to go there. But the reason why Ender looked like a freaking noodle pod is because he was built to have ultimate movement like a human, so that way he can actually kill someone. But still,
pinball machine over its face so it can't see me, and then knock its legs out from under it. It basically only has one weapon, which is its beak, so we should grab its neck as close to the head as possible.
Yeah.
Snake handlers use the same tactic.
Okay.
Snakes are basically pure muscle, but its only real source of defense is its mouth. So getting behind it and taking control of its only
But it's an
attack is the
actress.
best way to stay unharmed.
I mean, I guess it's a robot.
Hold of its head, I tried twisting against the machine's range of motion, hoping to break its gears. If its head is broken, it won't be as much of a...
Why are we censoring this? Hang on a second, why is that censored? That's because of oil and crap. Oh, so we can't even show off freaking robot gore. What the fuck? That makes no sense.
But when he goes to take out the trash, he discovers the front door is locked. This has turned into a proper death trap, and he has no choice but to fight his way out of here. Now, this guy doesn't look bothered by that at all.
Yeah, because he's badass.
He doesn't just want new tires, he wants to kill these things, and there must be a deeper reason why. Now, if it's me, I have every reason to leave, but the doors are locked, so we need to start thinking about this horrifying scenario differently. We can't just run and hide from these things. We have no choice but to kill them, and every decision we make here needs to be based on that if you want to stay alive.
Yeah.
These machines aren't being powered by electricity, they're being powered by pure evil, so we need to make sure we destroy the bodies in case they come back to life. If you knew what you were doing, you could look for powder-based insecticides and toilet cleaning agents possibly found in this closet here, and try to make hydrochloric acid to dissolve the bodies. But the truth is, I'm no Walter White, and inhaling the vapors of hydrochloric acid can be fatal. So I'd probably be getting as much of this duct tape as possible and binding the bodies. Duct tape can be extremely strong, and if they're wrapped tightly, it should be enough to keep them down. The janitor continues to clean, and this guy is not slacking off. He's scrubbing this place like his mom is coming over. He literally cleans the shit out of this restroom, then starts hearing the animatronics sing a birthday song. It's creepy as hell, and the janitor shuts their power off, but then someone slams the bathroom door. He goes inside and finds a bloody message on the mirror.
It's your birthday. Damn. He just cleans it off. Wow.
The man goes over to kick them open, one by one. Then the animatronic gorilla pops out and slams him into the wall. But once he gets a hold of the janitor throws him across the bathroom and curb stops him against the urinal.
Okay, this is actually funny. This is no longer creepy anymore. This is actually funny. Why is this a horror movie? This is nowhere near a horror movie. What the hell? He just literally shoved a plunger in a freaking gorilla's mouth. Is it bad that this reminds me of back in the time when, if you guys recall the show Chowder, I always wonder why the freaking, like, there's that one joke during the episode when Chowder and Rada, I forgot who Rada's name was. They went to the bank and the bank was then getting robbed by a squirrel with plunger. I always wonder why the heck the plunger. I mean, I get it was this, a weapon, but why plunger was too creepy. Well, you gotta now realize what plungers do. That's practically the dark joke.
Where to go? Okay, at this point, these creatures should not be messing with this guy. The gorilla pushed him into the wall.
Again, why we're censoring robot
should be able
gore.
to withstand 3,000 pounds of force per square inch, and that's more than enough to shatter your ribcage and put you in a coma. The obvious thing to do here is to leave the bathroom, but if we couldn't, your only option is to use the environment against it. The bathroom stalls are the best place to attack him because these doors only open inwards, so if you're on the outside, it Willy's on the inside,
That's true.
you have a lot more control of the situation. By kicking the door in against him, you'd be able to keep yourself safe by trapping him in the stall, and also damage him in the process. This is a huge benefit, because kicking someone for maximum damage requires flexibility and accuracy.
Well, we're showing freaking metrics. I think that was metrics.
You can't kill him this way, but you might be able to break him enough to weaken him, which gives you a fighting chance at surviving. This time, he has to tape up his whole stomach and throws the gorilla in a body bag. But as he dumps the trash by the entrance, Willy over here is watching closely. This time, he
Damn.
is pissed. Outside, a group of high schoolers arrive with cans of gasoline. They know all about the evil animatronics and want to burn this place to the ground. But Liv here stops them, as she sees the janitor through the window. But when she tries to convince him to leave, he ignores her. This guy definitely wants to be here, and he won't leave until he's cleaned the whole
Well,
place.
at least everyone got a plan.
This has got to be personal, and we're about to discover who this guy really is and why he just won't quit. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this place should definitely go up in flames.
Yep.
But sprinkling some gas on the wall here isn't going to do it. The fire will spread much less quickly, and if the fire department is called, it will be put out easily. The better thing to do here is actually go inside and light these things up.
How?
The place will go up in flames instead of just the side of the wall.
They're locked down, of course.
This guy refuses to leave, but the answer is simple. Don't burn it down. He will either get killed by these things, or he'll escape. Just come back to burn it down tomorrow night. Sometimes delayed gratification really pays off.
Yeah.
The girl decides to get him out of the building and sneaks in through these massive
Why?
but doesn't realize that she's not alone.
Fuck.
Finally, the alligator chases after her and she nearly makes it out alive as her screams of fear alert her friends and the janitor inside. Getting worried, they plan to break into Saber, but this guy starts arguing that going inside will get them all killed. They start fighting and fall straight through the ceiling. They reunite with Liv here when all of a sudden the animatronics come to life and start dancing. It freaks them all out and she runs up to attack them when suddenly the janitor stops her. But when they see Ozzy the ostrich in the trash bag, they realize that this man is a badass killing machine. He takes her knife away and they follow him into the kitchen, while these two decide to look around in the super happy fun room.
No.
But they already know these things are dangerous, so if we're not escaping back through the roof, there's only one purpose of staying here, and that's to destroy these things for good. They should be spending every second in this place to figure out how to do that before the animatronics start moving around.
I know.
Literally just standing there waiting to be killed, and we'll never have a better chance. But if this guy won't let us harm them, I'd honestly stay in the main room, keep my eyes on the mascots, and wait until the janitor goes on his next break. When he's gone off to play the pinball machine, we should be lighting these things on fire and climbing back out. In the kitchen, Liv here tells the janitor that this whole place is a trap. According to her, this all started in 1996. When Willy's Wonderland first opened up, it was staffed by 8 serial killers who would routinely murder their customers. But when they learned the police were coming to arrest them, all the workers sacrificed themselves in a demonic ritual to transfer their minds into the animatronic.
Well, okay. Okay, that's one way to escape jail. What the fuck? Okay, we're just having... Okay, the police coming at us. Let's kill ourselves, put us on a freaking pentagram, and just turn into robots. That's... Well, obviously not the last part, you know what I mean, but still, what? Well, that's more darker than freaking Five Nights at Freddy's. Well, actually, I was thinking about it. I don't know, but still, man, they're really ripping off Five Nights at Freddy's. This feels like a rip-off of Five Nights at Freddy's. What the hell?
The owner knew about this and tried to hide its dark past from his customers, but the machine started getting violent, so he was forced to close down. Ever since, he's been running this con with the help of the townsfolk, inviting drifters to work here as janitors and feeding them to the machines. Okay, this explains a lot, and it gives me some ideas about who this guy here actually is. My theory is that he was one of the kids that went to Willy's Wonderland, and something terrible happened to him and his family. The way this guy cleans could qualify as an obsessive-compulsive disorder, and he also doesn't speak a single word to anyone. Both OCD and going mute are common indicators of past trauma, and the signs don't...
Yeah, that actually is a fact.
This guy's flat facial expressions are not just bad acting.
Bad acting.
Is a common symptom of PTSD. He also loves his pinball machine like there's no tomorrow, and drinks way too much soda. These are very childlike behavioral patterns, which could be signs of arrested development, because these were the things he loved doing as a kid. The way he plays this thing tells me he's very familiar with it, which supports the idea that he's been here before as a kid, and might even have the high score. Now there's one last thing. Willy's Wonderland opened in 1996, which was 25 years ago, and based on the customer demographic of this place, he was probably 10 to 12 years old when the animatronics ruined his life. That would make him 35 years old today, which doesn't look like it fits. However, studies have shown that severe trauma in children can actually make them go through puberty earlier, age faster on a cellular level, and the telomeres of their DNA shorten, which shortens...
Why does this feel like it's referring to fucking me? I am not even shitting all to you guys. You guys know how much, like, I even told my story, which I'm not going to tell again, but you guys know that I have talked about this many times before, that I went through past trauma. Because why does that sound like so true? Because I actually started with pubic hair on my face. Well, that's the wrong way to put it. My hair, facial hair, there we go. Facial hair on my face around 15. I mean, I guess it makes some sense because it still is like during teenage years. But why do I feel like I went through because again, like I say, and I still have said this. In fact, I recently updated my YouTube page in order to speak this out because I feel more comfortable now speaking it out. But I have went through bad trauma, and I, like, not only because of my autism, but, you know, I now have depression, anxiety, and blah, 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 and I'm still very childish. I mean, heck, look at my freaking, like, just look at my freaking, if I can clear this up, I'm using my phone. There we go. Look at all that. And I'm using a freaking Switch, and of course, Pokemon is just because I love Pokemon. That's linked more to my autism because that's my autistic. Because we all know autistic people have that one thing they'll constantly be loved at. I mean, not all autistic people, but most of them. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm living proof because, heck, my freaking Switch is Pokemon. But still, why does this feel like this is actually correct? This feels so realistically correct. Because while I'm not mute or, you know, blah, blah, I am kind of more serious, and I do feel like I went through a lot of puberty way early because of my past life. This feels so correct, damn!
So as crazy as this sounds, it just might be true. All this together explains why he's even here. He's staying to make
yeah, he's terminating the freak. Like, he looks like Terminator.
He actually treats this place with respect. Tells me he came to restore its lost innocence, reclaim his
so the one is a fairy. I just realized I was looking closely. The creepy robot I pointed out is a fairy. What the actual hell?
So he can move on. The kids hear music and go back to the dining room where Willy is singing a song. It's really creepy. They're so distracted by the performance, they didn't notice another one is missing from the band.
Yeah, because they're about to kill. Oh, okay, now that's what.
And run for safety. With his break finally over, the janitor goes to the dining room and stops the knife from killing Liv, smashing its face into the wall before he cuts off its head.
Damn.
3 down and 5 more to go. Okay, these animatronics are vicious, but even if they're possessed by serial killers, we have to remember these are just machines underneath, and not very sophisticated ones. One of the greatest difficulties in robotics is building them to walk like humans.
Yeah.
Even Boston Dynamics, which has developed some of the most advanced robots in the world, can't replicate the movement and the balance of a human walk. And these things were made in 1996, so they're pretty basic, and that's how we beat this thing. If we expect his balance to be less stable in a walking motion, then we should go to the closet and get these cleaning solutions here to pour in a circle around him. As long as we stay out of reach from his sword, he'll have to move forward, which catches him in his most unstable position, so he's likely to slip and fall. He shouldn't have the range of motion to get back up, so we might be able to pin him, take the sword away, and chop his head off.
Damn.
This geek gets cornered in another room by 2 animatronics,
Yeah.
into a foam pit and eat him alive. These mascots aren't playing around anymore. This kid runs to hide in the arcade and makes a call to the sheriff's office. He says they're at Willy's and her daughter Liv here is in danger. Immediately, she grabs a shotgun and goes to rescue the kids. Back in the super happy fun room, these 2 high schoolers are getting it on when they
What
notice
the
that
fuck?
alligator is standing in the corner of the room and staring at them. She looks away when it suddenly attacks them, and the girl runs for the door.
These 2 people are having sex and fucking, while literally they're in a creepy thing. I mean, that is all fine, but if there's actually danger into that, being aka killer robots, your first option is to have sex in a dangerous situation. Okay, so the guy is forgiven what I said earlier because, you know, that would make a lot of sense. Even though still, that's still pretty much warning sign of you should not be in here, take note of the warning signs and blah blah. But this is, goes back to the whole stupid level. I mean, again, we do need stupid people, but really? Okay. This is entertaining as hell.
But it's locked. Okay, needless to say, this is a bad idea. And not just because they didn't bring a condom. They know this place is...
This motherfucker just said, not only because they didn't bring a condom. What the Okay, I guess he's trying to be funny, but really? Ah, fuck. This is so good.
Haunted by serial killers, and there's nothing a serial killer likes more than catching people in the act. But this brings up a really important point. If we know they're serial killers, we might be able to use this to profile and predict their behavior. Serial killers prey on the weak and look for easy kills when nobody's watching. This is their MO, and that's why they don't come to life in the main room when everybody's around. They wait for people to split up and catch them when they're alone. This could be used as a strategy to predict their movements. If we can't kill them on the stage, then we need to lure these things away one by one. I would first arm everyone with a kitchen knife, as there's plenty here to go around. Then have someone go into hiding as bait. One person should stay behind to observe when a mascot disappears from the stage, and when one of them comes alive, shout out and alert the others so they're all prepared. When the animatronic shows up, it will be ambushed by all the students. And even if the animatronic is unnaturally strong and mobile, there's enough people to gang up and take it down. Liv and the janitor hear screaming outside, but when he breaks into the room, they find the two kids are already dead.
Yep.
The alligator rushes to attack him, but gets his robot handed to him, as the janitor goes to town on this thing and brutally destroys it. That's 4 down, 4 more to go. Okay, there's no way I'm tough enough to give this machine that kind of a beatdown, so we have to use some critical thinking here if you want to survive this on our own. Real alligators have incredible jaw strength with one of the most powerful bites on the planet. But due to their biomechanics, the muscles used to open their mouths are significantly weaker. And even a simple rubber band is strong enough to keep its mouth closed. Now, even though this is just a machine, it's still governed by similar laws of biomechanics. If the alligator's mouth was motored by hydraulics, for example, the bite would be very quick. But opening it would reset the hydraulic piston, making this machine weakest.
I am so intrigued
I
in
would
this.
throw one of these chairs to trigger his reflexes into biting, so he's much less of a threat. He also has virtually no way to harm you if he's lying face down. So once we tricked him into biting, the best way to deal with this thing is to get it on its stomach so its mouth and claws are facing away from you and attack him until he's too damaged to continue. Meanwhile, in the arcade, Cammy the chameleon searches for the kid, and her approach is different. She tells him she wants to be free from this mechanical body. It's not convincing, but the kid trusts her enough to come out of hiding. His friend Liv arrives at the arcade just as he gets killed, and the janitor comes in, ready to take down another mascot. But then his alarm goes off, and it's time for his 15-minute break. So he leaves the girl to face off against the animatronic alone.
What?
Brutal. She struggles to fight against the machine and is totally outmatched. Knocked to the floor, the robot is about to kill her when the janitor comes back. Lassoing a cord around its neck, he slams it around the arcade and drags it out. Okay, there's no way this isn't a trap. But at the same time, this isn't exactly a great hiding spot. And she's going to find him eventually, so we have to use the killer's bluff against her. Coming out of hiding gives us a lot more options, especially if she thinks we trust her. But we have to come out with a plan of attack. If this thing is a chameleon, it's probably slower than the others. But if there's one thing chameleons are famous for, it's their snapping tongues. A chameleon's tongue can go from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 1/100 of a second. Now, this robot isn't that fast, but it's still pretty deadly. It's also the only weapon it has. The animatronic doesn't have any claws or teeth, so if we neutralize its tongue, we have a good chance at beating this thing. I would try to catch its tongue and wrap it around the steering wheel so it can't move or attack. Then when it's at its weakest, we can pick up the knife and try to kill it. The janitor goes back to the entrance and kicks the door open, but finds the sheriff holding him at gunpoint, forcing him back inside the restaurant. She's known all along about what happens here, and has come to make sure Willy gets his human sacrifice. She apologizes to the mascot, while the policeman handcuffs the janitor and takes the girl back into town. On their way back, the girl argues with the policeman, and he stops the car to tell her off for putting the town in danger, when he suddenly gets strangled by Tito the turtle, who was hiding on top of the car. He drags him out of the vehicle and kills him, but the girl has found a gun. She pulls the trigger, but to her surprise, it's not even loaded. With no choice, she uses it to beat him down and walks back to the restaurant. That's 6 down and 3 to go. Meanwhile, the janitor faces off against 2 animatronics, and even though his hands are tied behind his back, he takes them down without blinking an eye. Okay, there's something interesting here in the...
Okay, sorry about that. I knew that was gonna happen, but yeah. Let's go back to here. And P.S. Dang again. Damn.
When he suddenly gets strangled by Cheeto the turtle, who was hiding on top of the car. He drags him out of the vehicle and kills him, but the girl has found a gun. She pulls the trigger, but to her surprise, it's not even
Wicked
loaded.
stupid,
With
by the
no
way,
choice,
but...
she uses it to beat him down and walks back to the restaurant. That's 6 down and 3 to go. Meanwhile, the janitor faces off against 2 animatronics, and even though his hands are tied behind his back, he takes them down without blinking an eye.
Damn.
Okay, there's something interesting here in the way he uses this shoulder to knock her down. We don't have any hands to fight these robots, and to a normal person, it might seem impossible. Using your legs throws off your balance, and butting heads with a robot just gets you hurt. But the shoulder actually works well here. This move can be extremely effective as a fighting tactic, like how Conor McGregor used it on Cowboy Cerrone. It doesn't land a stronger blow to your opponent, but it catches them off guard easily, because more body weight is thrown behind it, and it's completely unexpected.
Yeah.
But it also makes me think he could be the kid we saw earlier with black hair, who was injured in the shoulder, and is now intentionally using it to take them out. We never see any evidence that he has a matching scar here, so again, probably nothing. But in a FNAF-inspired movie, you never know. The janitor strikes the siren with his legs, breaks out of the hand ties, and snaps the chameleon's head.
Damn!
That just leaves the final boss fight, Willy the Weasel. He goes outside to dump the trash bag and spots the sheriff in her truck, but as he's going back to work, she holds him up at gunpoint and forces him back inside. She's pissed that the janitor has ruined the sacrifice and got 5 kids killed in the process. That's when Willy suddenly rips her in half and attacks the janitor. This time he can barely defend himself and gets sent flying into the ball pit. He's not dead just yet though. He prepares himself for the final fight. Armed with a bag full of soda and a mop, he beats the animatronic into a oily pulp and rips his head off.
Damn! What again? What was the fucking...
5 minutes at Freddy's on his first try.
What? The thing that I don't get is why we're covering freaking robot gore. What? It's just robots. I mean, I get why he had to blur out the women, man, blah, blah, because we all know why. Believe me. But what's with the robot? What?
Next morning, the mechanic shows up in the janitor's car to meet the restaurant owner. But the 2 men enter the building, and not only is the place spotlessly clean, but the 2 men are shocked to see the janitor is still alive. He takes back his keys and gets into his car, joined by Liv here, and they leave Willy's Wonderland. And on their way, they finish off one last animatronic and get out of the town for good. Well, what do you think? How would you...
I would do nothing because that was badass as hell. Okay. Wow. Okay. Thanks again for the guy who recommended. Again, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on your name, but you had some god something. Alternative God, I think that was his name. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. And yes, he has, I think he had the word God on his thing, by the way. But still, holy crap, that was fantastic. Like, I thought it was going to be like a horror movie, but that was better than the last video I reacted to, which was the whole Japanese thing. But I guess that's because, unlike that, this was way more entertaining. But still, there's a few things I have to give hits towards the guy who created it. Was a cinematic. It was fine. I love the video, but there's one hit I need to give, and that is, why the hell did he cover all the robot gore? There's not even gore in it. I guess it's because like I said, I understand why they had to cover up the whole man and woman thing, because duh. But robot gore is being covered up? What? I don't know. I guess there's probably something I'm missing from there, because he did during the previous one he recently did, which was the Japanese thing. He did also had to blur everything out, including the marbles for some reason. So I guess he's just trying to please the whole YouTube algorithm crap, whatever. But that's fine. But other than that, I gotta give thumbs up to this guy who recommended it to me, because oh man, I really enjoyed it. Okay, so here's the situation though. I don't know if I'm probably will be able to make this, but again, if you guys know, today, which is probably when the video comes out or not, I will be live streaming the whole Nintendo Direct. I'm saying this now because A, I do not know if I'll be able to get this video out today, because the thing I'm using, and it's like, what time again? yeah, I might. It's very early, so I might be able to KO this thing. But knowing how the whole process takes like billions and millions of hours, I might have to post this on the weekend. So if it comes out Saturday, my mistake. But if it comes out today, that's great. But I think it will come out today because I'm not going to do too much editing towards it. I'm just going to put my title down there and blah, blah. But still, again, thank you for the guy who recommended me this. Because this was badass and hilarious as hell. Which is kind of ironic. I guess he recommended it because like I said, I reacted to one of his other videos, which was okay. But this was really well done. And that movie looks very interesting. My question is, was this a ripoff of Five Nights at Freddy's? Because originally, and this is a fact, Scott Cawthon actually originally wanted to do a FNAF movie. However, the people he was hired with turned it down, and instead, something happened with it. I don't know. I probably will send a link down the description down below of a video from Rebel Taxi who kind of explains it. But to make a long story short, there was a feud between the two, and Scott Cawthon took his work away from them, and instead they made it into the banana split thing, which actually exists, which is surprising. But this feels like really more of a ripoff of Five Nights at Freddy's. It has serial killer people later putting their souls in the machines, which the way they did it was too stupid. And I don't know. But still, that was pretty good. Especially the part where he explained that the guy could have a mental disorder like that. Because I can definitely guarantee that probably is 95% a fact. Because, well, the mental part makes sense, no doubt. Which explains why he did that in the first place. Because that was red flags. But, you know, it probably wasn't for him. Because he's like muscle man, mega huge man. Because holy crap. He definitely kicked those robots' ass. But for me, I did not know that if you go under a lot of stress, I thought that was a myth. That if you go under a lot of stress, especially as a kid, you getting puberty faster and right here. Turns out, I guess that's true. I never know that was real. And I guess I'm actually an example of that. I don't know. Because I'm so young, but yet right now, even though I'm young, I'm still have facial hair like a freaking man, which is good because at this point, many people who still thinks I'm a freaking kid, which we all know good and well I'm fucking not. I have proven my point of that. But still, this was a good recommendation. I love it. And again, you guys can make recommendations as well. Just do what this guy did, which was he actually link the video down in the description. Please actually do that. Don't just give me a title of a video. Please link it down below. Link it down below and I will get to it. Like, I think this was my second recommendation because I did a first one that had badass soldiers because of the whole furry apocalypse. It was from Flash Gets and later led me into that badass awesome animation. But this one was a whole other level, and it was great because he was able to link it down below. So my best recommendation, if you link the video down below, because that helps a lot. But anyways, I gotta literally combine these two things fast as I can and make a freaking title card and all that fast as I can because yeah, I gotta hurry up because I gotta do that live stream. So, yeah. But again, this was whatever the thing was ago. Whatever beat freaking Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff reaction video. Whatever. Still, a pretty good thing. And again, the original video will be down in the description below. Of course, this was Floxcat, and I'm snapping out of here. Bye.